All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about everything you need to know before buying a BMW. Okay, so as you can see here, maybe you can see behind me, M3 is missing the tires and wheels. So we're waiting. We're waiting on parts. We're waiting on the tires to get back from the tire shop to be mounted. We're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. So what you have to know before you buy any BMW, Mercedes, any Audi, really at this point it's any car. Within the last year or two, it's any car. You have to know that you're going to be waiting for good quality parts. Nothing's going to be quick. So in that theory, you will need a secondary car. And I said this before in the videos years ago. Everybody just laughed at me. Oh, what do you mean you need a second car? Well, you need a second car. Let's give it, for instance, what if the X3 or a very common car, X5, let's say you had a bad coil pack. Went out one morning, went to start it, rough misfiring, cylinder 1, right? Could you just literally go get another coil pack? Maybe. Could you go to AutoZone or a big box store and get one? You could buy a Chinese one from there for like full out BMW dealership price for the Chinese one. If they have it in stock. The chances are they're not going to have it in stock. They'll have to order it. It'll be anywhere from 1 to 4 days, right? So that leaves you with the situation. What are you going to be doing in those 1 to 4 days? How are you going to get to work? How are you going to get to school? How are you going to get to, I don't know, Walmart, whatever you got to do, right? You're not. Then you would need a second car. Let's put a whole other perspective on this. Let's say you can't fix your own car. The tiniest, minuscule little problem will require your car to go to a shop. Okay? In the last year and a half, 2 years, with all this stuff going on, they're having more and more problems finding people to work at these shops. They're having more and more problems finding people to work at these parts stores. They're having more and more issues trying to find people to work at the factories that make the parts. That puts production behind. We're seeing that right now in grocery stores. A lot of shelves are being empty, getting empty, and not being restocked. When you go to Walmart around our neck of the woods, there's pallets all over the place, and the manager says we can't find people to work to stock the shelves. So the manager's out there stocking the shelves. And it's an ongoing situation. So I'm not saying BMW's a bad car, because they're not per se bad. If you can work on them yourself. Mercedes, same way. Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche, all the VAG group cars, Chevy, Dodge, Ford, right? If you can work on anything yourself, if you have a nice shop, you have a lift, which is key, and some knowledge and some tools, you shouldn't be really afraid to own anything, right? Unfortunately, most people don't have all that stuff, and they should be afraid to own a lot of the stuff they buy. And then you end up with your car in the shop. We can't fix it. It needs a whole engine. We don't have time to mess with it. Just replace the whole engine. And things like that, and it's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars of some kind of crazy stuff. That's the rundown of the whole car scene in 2020-2021, and that'll be the car scene for the next, hard telling how many years to come. It's unfortunate, but that is the way it is. So don't get disgruntled, though. There's still a lot of cars, BMWs you could buy. You can still buy stuff, fix stuff, make money on it, buy the car of your dreams. Just be warned, though. You're going to get your hands dirty to fix it. Okay, so that brings me to one other thing. If you guys are following the build in E36, we've not had any update videos here recently, because we're waiting on all the parts, boys. We're waiting on everything. So this car is nearly complete. We got struts, actual sack struts, sway bar links. We have headliner and B-pillar suede material. We have to do the door handle surrounds. Seats, we're going to touch them up. We have that special BMW dye stuff. We'll touch them up a little bit. The driver's one's a little bit rubbed. See, not ripped or anything, just a little bit discolored. And we'll pull the seats. We'll do all the, we'll shampoo the carpets, do headliner, back dash, all the pillars. That way it's all new. And our steering wheel is also getting replaced. with Alcantara steering wheel. And at this point in time, once that's all done, this car will be for sale. Now we'll have to drive it just a little bit more, make sure we don't need vanal seals, make sure the PCV and everything's all good. But this thing starts and drives really, really good without any issues whatsoever. So other than just some basic cleanings, you could tell we did polish the whole car. All the paintwork's done. The whole car is polished. A little bit dusty now from sitting around, but this thing really came together very, very, very nice. And of course, like I said, the wheels are not on it because we had those at the shop getting brand new tires put on them. So if you guys are interested in this car, whenever we start getting closer, this car will be for sale at some point. My only regret with the current M3 market, E36 M3 market, I cannot buy more than one of these. We tried to buy a blue one, the Estoril Blue, I think is what it's called. It just slipped from my little fingertips and didn't get it bought. And now we start seeing the price for a good one of these like this. That's a 5-speed, go 14 and higher, 14K and higher on price. And a really, really nasty rough one is like 7 to 10 grand. So this will make somebody a very good car. This is a very well looked after car. Like I said, Chad at the body shop fixed any little body issues we have and did a killer job on that. This will make somebody a very, very nice daily driver. So just to give you an idea, a little more clarity on what I'm talking about, the E36 M3, this should be the easiest BMW to get parts for, period. There's more aftermarket parts, there's more stuff available for this car than pretty much any other car on the market. Let's say you need brakes for this car, all right? Let's say you get out to drive it one day and the brakes are grinding. You're like, oh, I can't drive this car until I do the brakes on it. And you're like, oh, I'm doing the brakes, I might as well do the disc. So let's say you want to buy brake pads and disc. Can you buy that at AutoZone or a big box store? Yes, well, maybe. Big maybe. You could buy a Chinese pad, possibly a Chinese rotor for 60, 70 bucks for one rotor. You cannot buy any Brembo stuff. You cannot buy anything, any legit brand brakes for this car at all. And we'll go under the hood for the next example of expendables. So we had to replace a crankshaft sensor on this car when we first got it. Because it had a Chinese one on it. It could have been an AutoZone crank sensor from China. That's what you're going to get if you buy one there. So I bought a Bremi brand, B-R-E-M-I, and it was 75 bucks off eBay. And I knew the car well enough. As soon as I bought this, I actually ordered it as soon as we picked the car up, like the next day. Because I knew it would take a week or 2 weeks to get it here. And it did, right? Put it in, it works fine. But if you have expansion tank problems, if you have anything from an E46 up with the push lock radiator hoses, those parts are expendable. They will fail at no notice. It'll spin the pulley off. You'll need this or that. Let's say you're doing your valve cover gasket, you take it off and it breaks the valve cover, it cracks it. You can't drive the car until you have new parts. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. You have to have a backup vehicle that you could drive whenever one of these cars are down. And now with Amazon Prime failing us, so instead of getting stuff off Amazon Prime in 1 to 2 days, now it's a week and a half or 2 weeks for everything. If you guys knew that, but they stopped the fast shipping on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime be soon a thing in the past, and that was a crucial lifeline to people like me that live not in the city, that live in the middle of nowhere, on getting parts, getting tools, getting everything from, seltzer water to snacks or anything like that, to getting all quick. That was a crucial lifeline. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Hope in today's video helped you guys out. There's so much to go over on this subject. It's just ridiculous, to be totally honest with you. You must have a secondary car in this day and age, no matter if it's a Ford, Chevy, Dodge, or a German car. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. We'll see y'all later.